Hello, hello. All right, so I'm on the clock. I only have a few minutes till I got to go pick up kids from school, but I wanted to share a little experience with you guys. So this is a fig tree moment. Our church hosts a worldwide semi-annual general conference, and it's broadcast all over the world, so you can watch it wherever you live. And they just had one here over this last weekend. And there's speakers and music, and it's just a way to kind of reevaluate, reconnect, kind of rebalance yourself and get back to incorporating more Jesus into your life and remember all of the promises that you've made to him. But it is a lot. It's a lot to sit through, especially for littles. Like, I'm still playing catch up, honestly, because we were in and out this weekend, out of town, and so I've missed some of it, and I'm still watching replays and things. But for a little person, man, let alone an adult, it is a lot of content, right? It's a lot of there's 5 sessions and they're each 2 hours long. So it's a hard thing to sit through, let alone to sit through multiples, right? Back to back. But we had it on, and, we're letting the kids kind of do their own thing. They're coloring, they're playing, they're asking for snacks, they're being disruptive. All the things that kids normally do, right? And I wasn't too worried about it. I figured as long as I get something out of it, then maybe I can incorporate it into what I do as I parent them, right? Into what we do as a family. And maybe I can find a more kid-friendly way to teach those principles and things, right? So I really was trying to be level-headed and be like, okay, even if they're not super reverent, even if they don't get anything out of it, at least we're trying, kind of thing. And that's always how it is. I'm sure there's so many mamas that probably feel that way about anything church related, right? That it's so hard to get anything out of it just because kids are so disruptive and take up so much of our time and attention that it's hard to find that spiritual connection. So I was really just going in with very low expectations. And that night I went to go put Noelle down for bed, and her thing when she is tired, so she's 6, almost 7 years old, her go-to fighting mechanism for not wanting to sleep is talking. She's like her own personal filibuster. If I talk forever, I won't fall asleep, right? As long as I'm talking, you can't touch me. It is. It's just, yeah, it's hilarious. But so she's just going on her little rants, right? She's just, spilling the 7-year-old tea, 6-year-old tea of all the things that went on that day. But she gets really serious and goes, Mom, I want to serve a mission. I want to be a missionary. And she has expressed that before, because we've had missionaries in our home and, at church and things. And I was like, yeah, that's something you want to do. We'll definitely support you. And I was kind of like, your daddy served a mission and it changed his life. It made him, helped to make him who he is today. And she goes, really? She's genuinely excited and surprised. And I'm like, yeah, you'll have to ask him about it. And she goes, Mom, it's so cool that they announced, that many temples today. Because they announced the building of our church's temples during this conference as well. And so I'm like, yeah, that's true. It was very cool. And I was kind of telling her where some of them were located, and she was getting all excited by that. And she goes, Mom, I would maybe during family home evening to write down my goals for Jesus. And my heart just is totally melted at this point. It's this realization that she was paying attention, that she did get something out of it. And this realization that my efforts matter. The things that I do to stay close to the Lord matter. Not only for myself, but for them. They notice those things that we do to keep ourselves spiritually strong, to keep that enduring relationship with Christ. And they learn from it. They learn young the source to which they can turn to for light in any darkness. That's at home. And it's usually when we don't feel like we're measuring up. Because I feel like that a lot. I felt like that a lot before parenthood. I've always kind of struggled with this self-placed expectations where I just never feel like I'm doing enough. And motherhood just kind of amplifies that because you're responsible for more people. There's more people relying on you to do things. So you always feel like you could be doing something better. But in that moment, I knew I was doing exactly enough. And I want you to know that you're doing exactly enough. To be that example for your kids, to give them the good things, to teach them those good things. To keep them strong in a world that's constantly changing and is so much hardship. You are exactly what they need.